First of all, thank you for coming out to CIDA.
My pleasure.
To support the community. Kind of looking forward to what we're going to do together.
Definitely.
Particularly with the important work that you decided to do.
I believe it's my influences. So I grew up listening to Motown. I grew up listening to Tupac. Motown was heavily involved in the community in Detroit. Black culture just in general, amplifying social issues. I realized hip hop is definitely the biggest platform, #1 genre in the United States of America. And me being a hip hop artist, I said, well, let me balance it out. So often the entertainment aspect is amplified, but not the social aspect, not the communic aspect. And the roots of hip hop is rooted in being that voice. My voice is the voice of the voiceless in the city and county of San Francisco. Whether you're talking about Fillmore, whether you're talking about Sunnydale, whether you're talking about Bayview, Towers, Alamany. I'm the voice of the voiceless, representing people who many have seen, but few have heard. They don't know our narrative. They don't understand what it's coming like. They don't understand what it's like to come from Black San Francisco, more specifically. We're beautiful people. We're influential people. We are creative people, but we've also, unfortunately, been marginalized here. When you think of gentrification in modern time, this is ground zero for it, Harlem of the West.
And this is an opportunity for us to support a transitional community and to uplift the people in the community so that they get the resources and access that they deserve.
Mental health is essential. When you think of resources in the community, right? You got mind, you got body, you got spirit. When you look at the plight of the residents here, some may be unemployed, some may be employed. There's a demographic that is unknown to us, right? Everybody's going to have a different set of needs. San Francisco has the resources though. And especially when the funds are properly allocated, this can become a transitional place. So now you have your home, now you have your apartment. The things that can be offered here is limitless if it's reimagined. And if the people who have the vision are empowered to do so. San Francisco can become a model city. We could have 0% displacement.
Your work is an inspiration for a lot of people. People are struggling with self-identity. They're struggling about what their path looks like. You know, San Francisco's laying off a lot of .com people and everything else. What I love about your work is that you have a relationship with a community, a younger community than usually our demographic, but all of which need the kind of support that we want them to have, that we're offering. And then in this case, we're actually bringing resources to the community. So this was actually designed incredibly well. This was really a structure where people have streets, it's a community, it's well kept because the people who live here, regardless of their circumstances, take care of their units. And this is what is a part of the solution. Now, these people have to have access too. But they have to have access to jobs, access to food, access to care, access to all kinds of things. So we want to make sure that we do our best job since we're the ones who hold the resources. We're the ones that hold the voice, that we make sure that we give them voice and that we give them access to resources. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate the work that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to see what we can do. Specifically, even your work around suicide.
When it comes to mental health, depression and suicide, unfortunately, prior to COVID, I observed people. I come from the neighborhood where, unfortunately, homicide is normalized and suicide is almost unheard of. So when I began to see people who look like me commit suicide, people in their teens, their 20s, their 30s, 40s, 50s, just in general, my mind went to like, what are you going through at that very moment? Organically, I would say I began to create a body of work, and that body of work dealt with domestic violence, PTSD, suicide, depression. It dealt with alcoholism, the opioid crisis, because all of it is under the umbrella of mental health. And whether we realize it or not, we all connected, right? So if I'm saying I want to see people doing better in life, their mind got to be right. If I'm from a community where I'm seeing parents burying their children and they're saying stop the violence, well, if you have access to better education, you're gonna have a better take on what the future looks like. So bringing it all full circle, I said I can utilize the platform that I have to, again, balance it out. Because the same way we entertain, we can inform, for sure.
I think that hope is the answer, and so are you.